Ah! Alright guys, Papa Pepper here once again. This is, my beautiful mobile home. May not be much, but it's ours, No rent, no mortgage, none of that stuff. Own it outright. But when you move a mobile home, poured some concrete runners, put it up on some blocks. You have to transport it. You have to get it set up on your new site, and then you have to get some skirting to the bottom because the water lines, other things are underneath there, and we gotta get this sealed in. Some of the places where the siding here, which is just aluminum, used to run into the soffit, the skirting, the water would get through there. And some of the stuff was rotting, so I'm going to replace a 2x6, and we're going to run some treated plywood around this thing before we put the skirting back on. Grandpa Pepper is down from Wisconsin, so we're doing that. I borrowed a Bluer Than Greens truck and trailer. Got a bunch of stuff. Got some extra insulation we'll be adding in just to beef up what we got going on. Got a ton of the treated plywood, and we got one board we're going to be replacing too. But we're going to get this thing situated, and actually it should get down to like 22 degrees later this week, depending on how long it's down there in those lower temperatures. It may not even freeze the pipes or anything like that, but this board here is the worst one, so we'll be replacing that with the treated 2x6 and go from there. But just trying to get this whole thing taken care of. Some of the old plywood was getting pretty junked up, but just our project, starting something different, trying to get this thing, although it's a temporary dwelling, it's a mobile home, to get it a little more permanent and ready to go. So Grandpa Pepper will be helping me today. Love the guy. I think one of the reasons I love him the most is because he's my father. Anyway, we're gonna get this going and see if we can't get this done maybe today or tomorrow. Nice thing is he's a good hard worker, and thankfully I came into that eventually as well too, where I started doing things good and hard, because if you don't want a hard life, you gotta work hard. It's just about that simple. But first, we'll put the dog out in the pasture. Let her run around and have her fun. Play with the goats, maybe. Come on, Rosemary.
front of the vehicles. Stand back, I need to hit a golf ball and a cool sewage. I stick it on. Oh, I don't know, it's all rock. Here, we'll make a T. Here's my T.
I've met a lot of letters. That don't look like a T.
Okay, stand behind. Over this way. Behind. Not there. I'm going to hit that way. Ready?
Okay.
Stand way back. So in case this thing flies out of my hand.
You gonna put it through the back windshield of my truck?
No.
You're right.
I hit a bucket. A bucket one.
Thank you, Dad.
For you.
Which board are you supposed to get from?
Like that.
So you can see behind me, we got the whole thing kind of covered down to ground level with some treated plywood. The folks who had it before us, there was an issue with water getting between the seams on stuff, and they had used some OSB, which didn't really last as long and became kind of junky and rotty as well. But the reason I did it this way is a couple of reasons. One, treated plywood will last longer. Two, if I just run it to the ground, I'm using whole sheets for the most part. Every once in a while I have to put a hole through, but the majority of them are going to be full sheets. Then by screwing it on rather than nailing it on, if we ever do sell this and it needs to move it off the property, if I've got this protected well enough, I can just unscrew all these and I've pretty much got you know, full sheets of treated plywood at that point that I can still use. So pretty good. Been some work. My dad and I mostly. Kids have been helping too. I'm thinking I'm gonna leave an access point underneath here, so we didn't put that one on yet. I think I'm gonna hinge it and run it through, but you can see all the way down. It's there. So what I'm gonna do is get the next layer of siding on, but I think I need to put my my drip edge, my lip, on first. So I'll put a lip about here, run the siding, then add the stuff that's actually just like a soffit. Here's a pile of it on the bottom, and by the end we should be much better prepared for winter. And then I'll just kind of mound it up with dirt around the bottom of it. So I'll show you this real quick too. We just did a full tour, by the way, if you've been paying attention. But see here, to screw this on, I might as well put the drip edge behind there. That's going to make more sense. So we're going to get a hold of Bluer Than Green, get his brake up here, and I got some coil, aluminum coil we'll just make our next section with. So, all right, soon enough, moving forward. All right, so back from Bluer Than Greens right now. We got his brake, which we're going to be using to take our trim coil and bend it up. We've got a 24-inch wide trim coil. I'm going to do 3 8-inch sections out of each, and we're pretty much going to do just a little chair like that. A little lip that'll tuck up behind the siding. That'll come down over the soffit at the bottom. But I'm also going to take that bottom edge and try to bend it pretty much 180 degrees right back on itself, so we've got a nice lip rather than a sharp one that we just cut. So we're going to strap this down for a minute, see if we can't get her going, and then figure out how to use a brake, right? Because you got to adapt in your life. All right, we'll see how it works. So, of course, if you guys know, a lot of this stuff is just stuff I've never really done before in my life. But that's our plan there. So we got 3 bends with a bend all the way around, so the bottom doesn't have a sharp point on it. And at the moment, this is looking like it's going to look good. The interesting thing is this side never had any drip edge behind it before, so that's why the OSB rotted. On the other side, they had a piece behind there to keep the water going down. Then they had a piece for the soffit to slide up into, and then they had a piece that covered it. So there was like 3 pieces. So this one piece that we're making here out of this aluminum coil is going to be functioning as 3 pieces. And the reason I keep saying soffit is this plastic soffit stuff here is actually what they had running around the bottom of it. So this is what's going to pop up underneath here and give it a look. So I'm impressed. Me and my dad, the nice thing is we got some different thinkers working, so we're thinking different ways, meeting in the middle. And at the moment too, I'm just gonna go a little light on the screws where they went heavy, just because if I don't put a hole through here, there won't be water leaking through. and I want to make sure that I got enough screws, because it's a 45-minute drive to get more just one way. So far so good. I think we're gonna do it. So this is one of the cool things too, because I've never used a brake before. I've never done any of this stuff, but I want some nice corners to slip over where the other piece we're making works. So to make something like this, I found a way to just kind of mass produce them and do a couple different things ahead of time that make it work out really easy. Saves me a lot of time, and the creative process to work through that wasn't too bad, but it was still something I've never done before. So now we're able to simply and easily kind of create the piece that we need, make things look nice. Mama Pepper's impressed already, but I try to keep the expectations low. Never done any of this before, so she doesn't know what I'm capable of. So when I accomplish something, it looks really good. Gotta be wise. So this is going to conclude what we're able to get done with my dad, because they're taking off to Wisconsin tomorrow. But I'll just run the soffit on the bottom. Cool thing is, made up 2 extra ones of those, which is the trim, because I'm going to stick them underneath the trailer. And that way, if anything ever happens, tree ever falls in or something gets damaged, I've got spares made up already. Did some different stuff around the door. Eventually we'll put a porch on this side. Here's where I'm going to make my Heidi door. I'll figure that out on my own. But we brainstormed some good ideas, and then we actually got that level down to there. So this corner here has the big corner to tie together, and from there we're going to be really good. Again, I wasn't really, planning on even doing any of this, but my dad was like, "Hey, I'm down. You got work to do. What do you want to do? What do you need help on? Prioritize." And so I did. I said, well, this would be number 1. So I'll just back up some dirt along the bottom, reinforce on the inside with rock if I need to. And I'll put a small porch back here too, which is why we're changing the angle of this fencing for the front pasture. So we got more room just to kind of hang out back here. But looking pretty good. Obviously they had a porch here before, and they painted it afterwards. That was kind of all our idea, making the whole section new rather than running that stuff underneath it. But looks pretty sharp, looks pretty good. We figured it out. Fun to work with my dad. Capable, intelligent man anyway. Him, not me. But helpful, willing to help take care of things. So I mean, in fact, the driveway behind me, he came down with this chainsaw before, where the kids are playing. He's the one who cleared this back in the day. So pretty cool. We'll finish it up. We'll go from there, and we'll see. Oh, I see pregnant Mama Pepper in the window. Number 6 coming. All right, guys. That's about that. I'll finish up my own. He's in back to Wisconsin. Did some work. It looks a lot better than just kind of being up on blocks and exposing the bottom, especially with winter coming. So learned a few things. He did too. We had some fun. Did it together. It was good. All right, Papa out. As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people, where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.